Ciao ragazzi, LordTeox here, and today I wanted to talk about who is the best support for your favorite main DPS on your team. So guys, of course I know that around we have so many guides about who is the best DPS in the game, who is the best support in the game, the best and the best and the best and so on. But every time I'm really wondering who is actually for you guys the best support you can put on your team, depending on your account and depending on your main DPS. So today guys, I will try to answer this complicated question, but before we start, remember your support really means everything for me guys. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thanks to you I will be able to even make more content. Let's go. Three important things you need to take in consideration before we start guys. So the first one, I don't have all the characters in the game so far released unfortunately. So for the one I don't have, I really did a lot of research between the video, different stats, a lot of number, really for giving you the best possible explanation. The second one, for try to cover all the most important main DPS in the game, sometimes I will give you, I would say, more than only one option for the team, so thanks to this the video will be faster, and at the same time I will hope to cover all the different possibilities you have on your account. And the last one, but not less important guys, I will talk about Venti and Bennet at the end of the video. So guys, don't be mad at me right away if I will not mention it in the first part of the video. Let's start with the recent and amazing new entry of Genshin Impact guys, which is Hutao. So Hutao with Xingqiu. So since Hutao arrived in the game, I think that a character like Xingqiu guys has really increased the value even more. So put those two characters together and you're good. It's like an amazing combo. So Hutao is amazing, we know that it's super strong, and with the Xingqiu ultimate, and remember to place the ultimate guys before using the elemental skill, otherwise all the energy Xingqiu will get from the elemental skill will be wasted, and after that you swap for Hutao, elemental skill of Hutao, and you just like start attacking and destroying basically all the enemy in the game. So you will proc in this case Vaporize reaction, which is so powerful. And at the same time guys, Xingqiu can protect and heal Hutao, but I would say not too much compared to the other healer, which is in this case is good, because since we want to like playstyle, we need to adapt with Hutao, works very well with a low HP. The fact that Xingqiu doesn't heal too much Hutao in this case is perfect. Crimson Witch of Flames, 4 pieces is what you want to use for Hutao, and for Xingqiu, 2 Noblesse Oblige and 2 Heart of Death is perfect. So you will get more hydro damage and also elemental burst damage from those 2 artifacts. No constellation are required from this combo. C0 for both characters works already perfectly guys, so don't worry about that. I would say with this amazing duo, you really need to have a shield character though to protect your Hutao guys, so characters like Zhongli or Noel are both amazing options. This combo works really well with a character like Diluc as your main DPS, so don't forget about this powerful guy. Next one guys, Ningguang with Zhongli. So I would say this can be kind of particular combo, but I really start to thinking about that and taking consideration these 2 amazing characters together after the Geo and the Zhongli buff update. Plus we know also if you need to take in consideration the future update we will have soon with the 1.4, finally Ningguang, I would say, problem will be fixed. And I really think will be one of the most insane combo of the game. So Zhongli is my favorite character guys, and for the one who already follow me, they already know that. But at the same time, they already know that I don't really like a Catalyst user. So they're not my favorite, but I still think this is an amazing combo. Anyway, Ningguang is an amazing and squishy main DPS character that can deal a lot of damage, especially with the charge attack. Zhongli can help Ningguang with his shield of course, so I would say that Ningguang doesn't need to be that squishy anymore, and she can just deal a lot of damage without thinking about that. Plus, of course, guys, we have the Geo Resonance, and both ultimate they will be up in no time every time and so you can try also to spam those ultimate because you have two Geo characters in the same team, so that will be already amazing. No Zhongli constellations are required for this build, and since in this case I would say the role of Zhongli is your support, not as your main DPS, what we want to prioritize here is your strength of the shield and the geo damage. For Ningguang, guys, you want to use 2 Noblesse Oblige pieces for the ultimate and 2 Archaic Peter for the geo damage bonus. I would say no constellation are required for Ningguang either, guys, but to be honest, if you want to start seeing big numbers and also deal more damage against all the enemy around you, I would say a Ningguang Constellation 1 is required. And this amazing combo team, guys, composition, we can add, for example, character like Mona. So first you activate Mona ultimate, and after you will use Ningguang ultimate, and which means the elemental burst, dealing even more damage thanks to the buff of Mona ultimate. Next one, guys, Chongyun with Xingqiu. So maybe you already watched one of my previous videos regarding one of the most amazing perma-freeze team in Genshin Impact. So I will leave you the link down below in the description for you if you wanna check this out. But those two characters together, guys, are just amazing, super strong. So Chongyun as your main DPS and Xingqiu as your support healer, it's really a lot of fun for me. So the enemies will be 80% of the time frozen, you will deal a lot of damage also thanks to the shatter mechanic, plus will be very hard for your enemies to just move, so you will not take a lot of damage. No constellation are required for this combo, and of course, guys, I will say if you have some, the result will be even better, especially if we talk about Constellation 1 Chongyun, since in this case the last attack of Chongyun will deal cryo damage, which means your enemy will be frozen even, I would say we can bring the 80% up to 90%. One good recommendation for this duo, guys, is to have at least, I would say, between 160 or 180, or in general a very high energy recharge, otherwise the rotation can be a little bit difficult to achieve. And the last one, guys, is having a sacrificial sword on your Xingqiu. If you don't have it, it's fine, but I would say it would be also nice to have it. In this case, your rotation will be even easy to achieve. Tartaglia with Beidou, guys, is the next amazing duo. So I will call it right away the Tecton combo, the Tecton duo, call it wherever you want. I'm pretty sure you're already familiar with this content creator, guys. And I will say also that Tartaglia will be with us soon again with the rerun banner of 1.4. So in this case, if you don't have Childe, you will be able to pull it for the first time if you save some Primogem and if you want it. But I will say to you right away, guys, that having Tartaglia as your main DPS require for me at least a Constellation 1 for be, I would say, very strong and for be more natural and easy to use. So in this case, the requirements are a little bit higher than before. So C1 Tartaglia and C0 Beidou is an amazing, of course, duo. In this case, Childe will be your main DPS and Beidou will be your burst support. So your team in this case will need a healer, guys, because Beidou can only protect and burst your damage but not healing Tartaglia. The electrocharge reaction you will trigger will deal a lot of damage, a lot of IOD damage, and also stun the enemies at the same time. But guys, if your child is a C1, and you can try first of all to pull again for child if you wanna like try to achieve the constellation 1, guys, so good luck. But if your child is constellation 0, I recommend to use at least, I would say, another sub DPS who can help you during the fight, especially when child elemental skills are down. So Beidou is already definitely a good option, is already amazing. Chongyun if you want to freeze the enemies, Ganyu the same, or if you want to trigger some nice vaporize reaction, I would say XIANGLING or Xingqiu are very good option. Out of that 4 pieces is what you wanna run on your child as a main DPS, and for your sub DPS, guys, you need to use artifact that will prioritize attack percentage and the increase of the elemental damage that he or she will use depending on your card. I would say, for just making an example, like 2 Thunder Fury for a 15% electro damage bonus for Beidou. Next one, guys, Razor with Diona, or we can also talk about Kachin with Diona, or also Chichi. So a lot of players, guys, might think that Overload, since Overload is dealing a lot of damage, of course, is the best reaction for the Electro character. But to be honest, guys, I'd rather go with the Superconductor reaction that for me works 10 times better than Overload reaction, especially if you're talking about close range melee unit like Razor and Kachin. So you need to remember, guys, that Overload will push your enemies away, and in this case you will need to catch up with those after, I would say, go close range again, because in this case is the only way you can deal damage with a close melee range unit, and start dealing damage again, which will cause you to lose time, stamina, maybe you're during a Razor ulti. So you know, I would say it's a chain of things that makes me thinking, and at the same time realize that Overload, even if dealing a lot of damage, is not necessarily the best reaction. So I would say that Diona together with Chichi are the best support that can help you trigger Superconductor reaction with those 2 main DPS, and at the same time will heal your character. So of course, guys, if you're just talking about Superconductor reaction, other good alternative are Ganyu, Chongyun, Keia, and of course those are amazing characters for trigger Superconductor reaction, but those characters, they will not be able to heal your main DPS. No constellation are required for this combo, guys, and since you can either build your Razor or Kachin with a physical or an electro build, in this composition, of course, the answer is pretty obvious, which means you should focus your main DPS in a physical damage build. So in this case, a physical damage build with the Superconductor reaction will help you deal a very good amount of damage. The last 2 team composition I wanted to talk about with you guys is about 4 different characters that unfortunately I don't have, but I know they work really well together. So the first one for me is Klee and Mona. So maybe one of the most classic team composition you can have with those 2 range unit, guys. Vaporize reaction is what you are going to trigger here, thanks to the fire and the water combined together. So the fact that Mona can deal AoE hydro damage with elemental steel, and after that Klee can just simply attack and vaporize reaction will be trigger, for me make Mona simply the perfect hydro support for Klee. So like other time we talk about that, unfortunately she will not be able to heal your main DPS, in this case Klee, so you need to add an healer on your team in this case. For me, guys, combine those 2 characters together, those 2 elemental bursts together, and you will deal an insane amount of damage, as well as the amazing crowd control from Mona elemental burst. So no constellations are required here, guys, but we're talking about, of course, 2 5-star together that not necessarily everyone has. The second one, guys, is Xiao and Jin. So 2 animo character and 2 5-star again. So of course we will have already the same problem as before, but in this case, guys, the main DPS of course here is Xiao and the support healer here is Jin. So I know that I don't have this feeling, even if I really like Jin, that maybe some of you players doesn't really like Jin a lot, but again, I think is one of the best healer in the game and she can also deal a lot of damage. She's also very versatile as a support, as a burst healer, and of course, guys, she's an animo character, which means with the Xiao together they will activate the animo resonance, who would help a lot your main DPS and your team in general. Another good option we have here, if you don't have Jin, is to stay in the animo field and put Sucrose instead. So unfortunately, Sucrose compared to Jin cannot heal Xiao, but the crowd control she can create thanks to the elemental burst will help you put the enemy's aura in the right spot, in the right position, and after start doing the the maximum amount of damage you can with Xiao and plunging attack. So both are amazing batteries for Xiao, guys. So I would say because when you play with Xiao, you really want to cast the ultimate all the time. So adding 2 animo characters like Jin and Sucrose together with Xiao for me is just perfect. So guys, those are the best support for your favorite and best DPS on your account. I really hope that you found this video helpful so far, and I really hope that I talk about enough about your main DPS on your account, so from there you can just start thinking about the rest of the team. So in this case, guys, just put 2 more characters on the team, characters that work well together with the other 2, characters that simply make you have fun in the game, or characters that you want to experiment with, and after that you're just good to go. Like I promised you guys, now we can talk about Venti and Bennet, and the simple reason why I left those 2 characters together and at the end is because they're simply the best support, the best burst support, the best healer in the game. So in every team you can put a Bennet, in every team you can put a Venti, even both in the same one if you want, and because they're just amazing, and they're even, I would say, more amazing together. They're super strong. So Venti doesn't require any constellation, guys, and is good to go. And like Childe, we will have a rerun of the Venti banner very soon, guys. So if you're like me and you still don't have Venti on your team, and I will be one of the players who will summon for Venti, so we will have a guide about Venti soon on this channel, guys. But in this case, just put Viridescent Banner on Venti, amazing crowd control, a lot of damage, a lot of reaction, and you're good. The only downside, I would say, of an amazing character like this one, as I would say, as a support, that unfortunately Venti cannot heal your main DPS. I would say that's the only downside, so in this team you will need another healer. For Bennet, no constellation are required, guys, either, but if you really want to, I would say, the full potential, if you really want a very strong Bennet, C1 is what you are looking for. He can heal your team, your main DPS, and at the same time burst your damage based on Bennet base attack. So what you want to do, guys, is put a good and high base attack weapon on Bennet. Skyward Blade is the best in slot, energy recharge, and 4 pieces of Noblesse Oblige, and you're done, guys. Here is the best support healer in the game. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you found this video helpful and you really learned something. Let me know what you're thinking, and if you have any other question about team composition, main DPS, support, every question you have, guys, just leave it down below in the comment and I will be more than happy to help you like usual. Like the video if you like it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, so in this case you can show your support and watch more content like this one. I'll see you next time. Ciao ciao.